So
I know you're
Michele
concerned. I know you're
Bachmann,
concerned about balancing budgets. There are a number of, obviously, a lot of Republicans and even some Democrats who believe that one of the ways to try to balance the budget is to cut benefits, Social Security and Medicare. Do you support that?
No, the Ryan plan, and which Bachmann is on board with, it's smoke and mirrors, A, and B, it breaks the social contract. Basically, our seniors have worked hard. They've paid into the Social Security fund. The trust fund should be there for them when they need it most. And if you want to privatize it, that's basically a code word that we just want you to go out on your own. And the same thing with Medicare. You can't voucherize Medicare. I mean, you give people $7,500 and say, hey, go do it yourself. I mean, these are seniors. They've worked hard. They're in their golden years. They don't have the sophistication or the interest to try to go out and try to do this themselves. So when you start doing that, what you're really doing, you're taking care of the people that have the wherewithal to be fine. You know, the 1%ers are going to be just fine, but those people that really need it most are going to be hurting. So that doesn't do it. And then when you try to balance the budget with smoke and mirrors, and you say, look, let's lower the tax rates, and by the way, down the road we'll find some tax expenditures that we can get rid of. We all know how Washington works. We all know that money speaks, and we know people are bought and sold, and you better get that up front before you do it. And the people of the district see that. They understand that.
I want to ask you about another, it could be a tough issue in states like Minnesota, and that is the issue of gun control. The House, of course, has not taken up any votes, but the Senate at least did vote on background check legislation. If something like that were to get to the House, would you support that? How do you feel also, for example, about a ban on assault weapons and limiting high-capacity magazine clips?
David, I think we should focus on what we can get done. 90% of the people like the idea of having background checks at gun shows. They like to have some control on Internet sales. We should have gotten that through. I could endorse that. I'm a big believer in the Second Amendment. I believe I like venison and wild duck in the fall. I like people to be able to protect themselves in the farm home. I don't care about that stuff. At the end of the day, let's focus on what we can get done. We should have been able to get that done. We need leadership in Washington. I'm going to go there and do that.
And finally, I want to ask you before we let you go, a number of Democrats have stayed on the sidelines in your last race. Perhaps they're not sure whether or not you could pull this off. It seems like things have changed. Have you gotten the commitments and the promises that you think will be helpful in 2014 from national Democrats?
David, people are going to jimgraves.com left and right and giving us money. We're going to have a lot of support out there. And the thing about it is, in deference to all those folks that sit on the sidelines, I mean, we were handicapped, and they just didn't think we could get it done, and so they went where they could get the most bang for their dollars, and I don't blame anybody for that. You go for the low-hanging fruit. But this time around, people know that we're in the front, we're the front runner, we've got the right message, and we're going to get the job done, so it's a totally different game this time. And if I were a betting man, which I'm not a big betting man, but I would put money on Jim Graves on this one. Go to jimgraves.com and check us out.
Jim, it is a pleasure having you on. Thank you very much. And by the way, before we let you go, I do want to point out that we had invited Michele Bachmann to come on, and we were prepared to give her equal time. That's what we're all about. But her campaign decided not to make her available, but she still has a standing offer. Jim, good luck to you. Thanks for being part of the program.
David, thank you so much, and have a wonderful day. Bye now.
You too. Jim Graves, who will be I think he'll win the Democratic nomination. He will be the opponent of Michele Bachmann in 2014.